Come to dinner with money, said my daughter after years of ignoring me. I came with a surprise. For almost 8 years, my daughter pretended I didn't exist. No calls. No messages. No birthdays. No holidays. I would send her texts on Eid. Beta, how are you? Seen no reply. I sent gifts for her children. Never acknowledged. I didn't know what hurt more, losing my wife or losing my daughter while she was still alive. When she got married, everything changed. Her husband came from a rich family, big house, fancy cars, business trips abroad. Slowly I stopped fitting into her new world. I was just an old retired man living in a small rented house, surviving on a pension and memories. Then one evening my phone rang. I stared at the screen in shock. Aisha. My daughter's name. I answered with trembling hands. Assalamu alaikum, Beta. Her voice was cold, businesslike. Abu, we're having a family dinner tomorrow, you should come. My heart jumped. I thought maybe, just maybe, she missed me. Then she added, bring money. I stayed silent. For what? I asked. We're renovating the kitchen, everyone is contributing, since you're family you should too. No, I missed you. No, how are you? Just money. I swallowed my pride. How much? I asked. 200,000 rupees. My chest tightened. That was more than my entire savings. I'll come, I said quietly. She hung up without even saying goodbye. That night I didn't sleep. I looked around my tiny room, cracked walls, one old cupboard, a picture of my late wife hanging crooked on the wall. Was I only a wallet to my own child? I whispered. I went to the cupboard and opened the old metal box my wife used to keep documents in. Inside were papers I had never shown anyone. Property papers. Bank certificates. In one envelope marked, for Aisha when the time is right. I smiled sadly. Tomorrow, I said. Tomorrow is the time. The dinner. The next evening, I arrived at her house by bus. Her house looked like a palace compared to mine, marble floor, big gate, security camera. When she opened the door, she looked surprised. Abu, you actually came. I wanted to say, you're my daughter, of course I came. But I just nodded. Inside, the dining table was full. My daughter. Her husband, Salman. His parents. 2 uncles. An aunt. Everyone was dressed in expensive clothes. No one stood up for me. I quietly took a seat at the corner. Dinner started. They talked about Dubai trips, new cars, stock investments, new business deals. No one asked me how I was. After dinner, my daughter cleared her throat. So Abu, about the money. Her husband leaned back in his chair like a king. Yes, uncle, he said, family should help family, right? I slowly took out my wallet. From inside, I removed a small envelope and placed it on the table. My daughter grabbed it quickly and opened it. Her face changed. Inside was not cash. It was a bank check and documents. She looked confused. What is this? I stood up slowly. This, I said, is your surprise. The room went silent. These papers show that the house you are living in belongs to me. Everyone froze. My daughter's husband laughed nervously. That's impossible, my father bought this house. I shook my head. No, I bought this land 20 years ago, before you were married. I registered it in your name, Aisha, so you would always be safe. Her eyes widened. I never told you because I wanted you to love me, not my money. Silence dropped like a bomb. And this check, I continued, is for 200,000 rupees, the money you asked for. Her hands trembled. But there's one condition. Everyone leaned forward. I will give this money if you answer one question honestly. She nodded quickly. Yes, Abu, anything. I looked straight into her eyes. If I had no money, no house, no property, would you still have invited me to dinner? She opened her mouth. No words came out. Her mother-in-law looked away. Her husband stared at the floor. My daughter's eyes filled with tears. I don't know. That was my answer. I slowly picked up the check from the table. I didn't come today to buy your love, I said. I came to remind you who raised you when you had nothing. Her voice broke. Abu, I was busy, life is complicated. Life was complicated when I worked double shifts to pay your school fees, I said. Life was complicated when your mother was sick and I sold my bike to buy her medicine. No one spoke. I never asked you for money, I continued. I only wanted respect. I placed the envelope back into my pocket. You won't get this money today. Gasps filled the room. But I added, you will get something else. I took out the second envelope from my coat. It was the one marked for her. I handed it to her. What's this? She whispered. Open it. She did. Inside was a letter in my late wife's handwriting. Her hands shook as she read. My dear Isha. If you are reading this, it means your father is still protecting you, even when you forgot him. Remember, a parent's love is not a bank account. One day, when your children grow up, they will treat you the way you treat us. Choose wisely. She burst into tears. Her husband shifted uncomfortably. My daughter stood up suddenly and fell at my feet. I'm sorry, Abu, I was blind, I was ashamed of your simple life, I thought rich people mattered more. My heart broke and healed at the same time. I don't need your house, I said softly. I don't need your money. I only want my daughter back. She hugged me tightly. For the first time in 8 years, she hugged me. The final twist. I turned to her husband and his parents. You are living in this house because of me, I said calmly. But don't worry, I won't throw you out. They looked relieved. However, I added, from today the ownership will stay in my name. Shock again. If my daughter ever forgets me again, I said. This house goes to charity. Dead silence. My daughter nodded. I will never forget you again, Abu. I finally handed her the check. Fix your kitchen, I said. But fix your heart first. That night I went back home. But I didn't feel alone anymore. My phone rang the next morning. Abu, did you eat breakfast? Abu, can I come visit you today? Abu, I made your favorite biryani. I smiled. Not because of money. Not because of power. But because sometimes, the best surprise is reminding people of their roots. Moral of the story. Never measure your parents by their money. Measure them by their sacrifices. Because the day they stop knocking on your door is the day you'll realize what you lost.